this week we'll be studying famous artist Romero Britto. And if we want to look at some of his work, let's just take a quick peek here. And you can see this is all the cool style of his work. Lots of colors and patterns, really bright stuff, really neat stuff. Just so many great art pieces, and they're so fun. And so watch the video about him that is in your lesson. And then this video is for me, and this is our project video so that we can go ahead and do our project together. And so this week is almost St. Patrick's Day, and so we wanted to do something that was kind of St. Patty's Day art, but we also wanted to check out this cool artist. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a Romero Britto inspired piece of art, and it's going to be a 4-leaf clover. So the first thing you need is your page, and if you are working in Sketchbook, you might want to give yourself just a border. I'm just going to give myself a square to work on, but you could use whatever you think. You could use a whole page or whatever. You might be doing this on a longer page, and that's fine, but this is going to be my page. Romero Britto used a lot of thick black outlines, and so I'm going to make sure that I have black. I'm going to get my brush nice and thick for now, and we're going to draw this. And because lines get shaky in Sketchbook, I'm going to use this tool to help me out. And this tool, if you're using Sketchbook, it's called Predictive Stroke. Yours looks a little different, but you guys have it in the app as well. And it's kind of like, I think it's a wiggly line for you guys, and it's on your toolbar up here. And if you mouse over it, it says Predictive Stroke. And what it does is if I have a kind of unsteady line, it'll smooth it out for me. So that's handy to use for this lesson if you're drawing in Sketchbook. But if you're drawing on paper, it's a lot easier to make smooth lines. So what we want to do is we want to make our 4 leaves of our shamrock, or our clover here. So because we want it to be super lucky, right? So each leaf is really shaped like a heart. And so I'm going to say, let me give myself a dot for the center. I'm going to make it a little bit higher than the halfway on the page because I want to have room to put a stem on here. So I'm going to go from that dot, and I'm going to go, it's going to be like a heart, and I'm going to just let it be a little bit smoothed out. Okay. And I'm going to go here, and I'm going to do another one sideways. So if you're working on paper, probably the easiest thing to do is turn your paper. And I can actually do that in Sketchbook too. So I'm going to go from that dot, going to make a heart, try and keep it about, oops, I accidentally clicked to finish that, so let me try again. Okay, I'm going to try and make it about the same as the other one in size. And then I'm going to turn my paper again. That one was actually a lot smaller, wasn't it? Do you think I should redo it? Now we'll see how it goes, because maybe it'll look more natural, like a natural shamrock. And then I'm going to make another one here. Thank you for smoothing that out for me. And away, turn it around here. And I'm going to do another one to fill it up. And so now I've got my 4 hearts, and you can see mine aren't all perfect. That one on top's a lot bigger than the other ones. I ended up making this one a lot bigger, but that's okay. I'm just going to go with it. I'm not going to worry about it being too perfect. What I am going to worry about is I don't like this line right here getting super thick. So I'm just going to go in there with my eraser, because that's where my lines crossed, and so it doesn't match my other lines, and I want it to kind of match my other lines if possible. So I'm just going to go in there and try and smooth that out a bit. Okay, not perfect, but it'll do. So I'm back to my nice thick black pen, and if you're working with marker, you obviously want to use a nice black marker, a nice chunky marker. If you're working with those like Crayola markers that have a tip that looks like this on them, then you can use this surface right here against your paper to make a thick line. So I'm going to now go in, and I'm just going to divide these lines. I'm going to let these curve a little bit, hopefully. line didn't quite go. Okay, we'll go there. So I'm just dividing it. And now I'm going to add my stem on here, and I'm going to have my stem kind of come out. I think I'm going to have it come out from here just to give my design like a nice kind of tilt to it. I'm going to have my stem come down off the page like so. Okay. And now to do Romero Britto style, now I need to also kind of divide up my background. And so I could divide it up with diagonal lines, or I could divide it up with horizontal lines or whatever, but I want them to be nice and straight. So now I'm going to use my ruler. If I can get this to click. Sometimes my tools stop working right on this. It's like a glitch in my, that's because I'm drawing with a drawing pen thing, and sometimes it gets confused with a mouse, I think. Oh, I'm gonna pause the video. Or not. Okay, I think I got it working. So now I'm going to go to my ruler so that it can help me out here. And if you're doing this on paper, you probably want to use some sort of straight edge, a nice ruler. And you can just make lines going behind. Think about the Romero Britto art that you saw if you watched his video. And we're just kind of dividing things is what we're doing here to make it interesting looking. And I'm going to do some horizontal lines and some vertical lines. Let's see. Go here. And let's do some diagonal lines maybe. Let's see. What if we have a diagonal line here and here? So I'm just drawing behind my shamrock. And maybe I'll make one going up here. And maybe some more horizontal lines now. I don't know. So you're just dividing it. You're just giving yourself some sections of stuff to work with is what you're doing here. And so all these get filled with those cool background patterns later on. So you just have to kind of go like, what do I think would look good here? I think I'll go right here. And you don't want to do too many. You want to keep it, you know, interesting or whatever. And if you have like a really big space, maybe break that up more. There. Okay. I'm going to call that done, but you could do more if you want. But now I've just divided it up in different places with different lines, all going in different directions back here. And now each of these different parts gets a different pattern in bright, bright colors. So what are some of the colors that Romero Britto used? He uses red, pink, purple, blue, yellow, all kinds of bright, bright colors. So now is the really, really fun part where we get to start coloring in all the different parts. And so, you know, I probably could go in here and give myself some, if I make sure these connect really well, I might actually be able to do this with the fill tool in Sketchbook to make my job a little easier. That looks pretty good. All right, so let's see if the fill tool is going to work for me. So I'm going to get some nice, bright, pure colors because that's what Romero Britto uses, really, really bright, pure colors. Oh, where went you there? There it is. Okay, so let's start. And now I'm going to try and remember that this is my, my four-leaf clover, and I kind of want it to stand out. I'm going to do like blues and greens on it, I think. So I'm going to do a couple of yellow ones and maybe some yellow in here to carry through. And yeah, he uses bright orange in there sometimes. So I'm going to put my warmer colors though mostly in the background. And I could carry this through if I want, so it goes behind. You could do a different color there instead if you want. That's up to you. You just decide what goes where. And you want to think about like, what colors does Romero Britto use? What are his colors like? And just get some nice blocks of colors in there. Bright pink. Get some bright pink in here. And that is where I messed up with my thing. So here, I'll put my pink up here for now just to make my life a little easier. What else? Let's see. Actually, I do want to put some down here. So here, I'll do pink on one side, and I'll do, I don't know. What should I do? Some, actually, I think I'm going to do pink on both sides. So I'm going to go back to my pen for a minute and fix that. Now I should be able to fill that. So I want to get the same pink and fill it. This is why it's so fun to do this kind of thing in Sketchbook, because it does make it easy to kind of do your coloring in and stuff like that sometimes. I'm going to add some more pink over here. And maybe we'll put some red in there. And I'll put yeah, so this touches all those colors. I think I like the pink best, so I'm going to put some more pink in there. So let's put some more pink in there, and we'll see. So I kind of limited myself to the warmer colors in the background, and even though yellow is technically a warm color, I put some in here because I want this to, be green, and so blue plus yellow equals green, and so I'm going to use green, blue, and yellow, some different greens, blues, and yellows on this. So, get some nice green, some nice bright green, maybe a little more, I don't know, like that, yeah, maybe a little more like that. And I'll go in here and put some different ones. Let's see, maybe there. And then I'll put some blue on that. That looks pretty good. I think I'll put some blue here and there, and that would be, should I put more blue there? Yeah, let's put more blue there, just for fun. All right, so you could put whatever colors you like, but I'm sticking with blue, green, and yellow on my shamrock, and I'm trying, to stick with the kind of bright, vibrant colors that Romero Britto would use. And now that I've got everything else colored in, I see I have this little triangle right there that I missed. And if I'm thinking this triangle goes behind there, then I need that to be orange as well. So now's the fun part where we really, really get to add like all the colors and patterns and stuff like that. So the patterns along with the colors are what make Romero Britto's work so beautiful. And so some things that he uses are like some big dots. Okay, like big polka dots. And like so. And he uses stripes. But they're all neat. He doesn't have any messy patterns. Like he uses really neat patterns. He does flowers. Like he'll do flowers like that in a pattern. He'll do all kinds of stuff. So let's just have fun with some patterns now and see what we want to add. So you get to play with that. And so I'm actually going to do this just on a new layer, just to make it easier on myself if I need to erase for some reason. And so one of the things that he does a lot of times, like when he does his dots and stuff like that, is he'll use a similar color. So like if I do orange, then I might go with yellow, and let me even try and get the same yellow, and I'm going to make perfect circles for my dots to try and, you know, keep them, oops, that's a little bit oval, so I'm going to try and keep them nice and neat so that they look like Romero Britto dots. And then if I take that and let me see, I think I can copy it. So I might actually copy it as a whole new layer, but that's okay. We'll just use a whole bunch of layers for this. And now, if I go to my tools to move around, now my dot's going to be the same. And so I can just keep telling it, duplicate layer, go here, and I'll just fill all these in. And make them look super pretty. Does that look like maybe that would fit right there? I don't know. And then just keep on putting them in there. Alright, so I'm going to speed up the rest of this video so that it doesn't take too long for you guys to watch. But when you go to add the things that you want to add, then just have fun with it and enjoy adding them. And put lots of patterns and try to keep them in the bright colors and keep them nice and neat. And when you're done, you'll have a Romero Britto inspired piece of art. Can't wait to see what you guys do. Have fun!